so lost for words, actually. 0-8 on national television. They should take us off every national televised game for the rest of the season.
Right now we don't have the joy that we need.
That magic moment.
A lot of one-on-one on the offensive end, maybe because we don't trust each other, and then on the defensive end, it's the same thing.
To get his teammates back off, crossover, Thomas on its way, and down it goes!
Felt like I got my powers back playing on this team now.
And this league's gonna be ups and downs, and we just had a down month.
I got back to having fun playing basketball, man, with a great group of guys. It couldn't happen no better.
Welcome to SI Now. I'm Robin Lundberg here with Madeline Burke. And Madeline, you can just feel the love LeBron James has for his new teammates.
Love is in the air. Shout out to Gene and Harry for that video. It's got me feeling some type of way, especially about this new Cavs team. I mean, these new look Cavs got another one Tuesday night with a 120-112 win over the Thunder. The four new guys combined for 48 points. LeBron James scored on 7 different Thunder defenders. This is the second time we've seen this newly assembled team against a top-tier opponent. Once again, they got the W, leaving pundits praising Cleveland as the Eastern Conference team to beat. Now, are we overreacting to the Cavs?
Absolutely not. I don't think we're overreacting to the Cavs at all. When this trade went down, I knew the Cavs were going to be really good. It's only been affirmed by these wins in Boston, in Oklahoma City, and you just look at the pieces. They fit. Again, they got rid of the baggage. They got rid of a lot of bad minutes, and I do believe this is the biggest group of plus athletes LeBron James has ever played with. You know, he played with Wade in his prime in Miami, obviously one of the best athletes in the NBA at this time. But when you go with Clarkson and Nance, who you see there, who's just a heck of a player, and on down the line, Rodney Hood, J.R. Smith's been rejuvenated. This Cavs team is very, very good. And if I want to overreact, I start looking forward to how they match up with, say, Golden State, because I think they could do it about as reasonably well as any team could hope to. And when you get to the offensive side, LeBron plus shooters is basically unstoppable.
I mean, they say winning cures all, and they made these changes. They've got a couple wins. They've won 4 straight as a team, 2 straight with this new look team. I feel like things are going to continue to move in a positive direction until they hit a slump. If they hit a slump, I could see things slipping down, but this team looks good. They are getting minutes from their role players that are successful, positive minutes. They're kind of restricting a little bit, not using Kyle Korver as much. Their defense has gotten a little bit better since this move. I like the way the Cavs are looking now. I do still want to see a bigger sample size, but these are 2 solid opponents that they have made a statement against.
There's no agendas with the guys there either. And, of course, when you add a rejuvenated LeBron James, that can take you a long way. We've seen that over and over and over again. Of course, our first taste of the new Cavs was on Paul Pierce Day in Boston. Well, now Pierce says one of his other former teammates will be honored as well. In reference to KG, the Truth said, quote, "Without a doubt, Kevin Garnett's number will be retired in Boston. It's going to happen." So does Garnett deserve to have his number 5 hang from the rafters?
If Kevin Garnett did what he did in Boston for almost any other franchise in the NBA, it would be a guarantee. But because Boston is such a historically successful franchise with so many greats that have passed through and worn those jerseys, it's a little bit different of a consideration. Now, KG did change, or rather restore, the winning culture in Boston as a part of that team. And as a superstar, being able to come into a team and fit in well alongside other superstars, building one of the first big threes that we've seen in this recent NBA era, and allowing Paul Pierce, being an unselfish KG, allowing Paul Pierce to remain exactly what he was, which is a scorer who pretty much got that last shot whenever he wanted it. Now, he was in Boston for only 6 years, so if he did have his jersey retired, it would tie him with Reggie Lewis as the shortest tenured player to have his number retired. Reggie's obviously went up under some very sad circumstances. Lewis suffered a sudden cardiac death at the age of 27 on a basketball court offseason, but this is a little bit different situation. I think KG deserves the consideration for the honor. Well, is it guaranteed? No, but would I scoff at it if the Celtics did it? Absolutely not.
It's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. We know about the Celtics' history. Everyone knows that. but it had been more than 20 years since they won a championship when Garnett arrived. Immediately, the first year he was there, they won the title and were one of the best defensive teams of all time. That Celtics team went on to have those battles with the Lakers. They were one game away from another championship. They probably forced the Miami Heat to be formed. I feel like people are underselling a little bit what that team brought, and it also let us know how much of a winner Kevin Garnett could be because so much of his career was spent toiling away in Minnesota during his prime.
Do you think Kevin Garnett played a bigger role than Paul Pierce in that winning franchise?
I think, it's co-roles. I mean, you can't really distinguish one from the other because Garnett brought that intensity they needed. He brought that defensive leadership they needed. And Paul Pierce was the bucket getter. Paul Pierce was the guy, Ray Allen could spread the floor for you. They all brought their thing there, but it was clearly the number 1 and 2 would be Garnett and Pierce, with Ray Allen playing 3. And remember, Rondo was good at that time.
Right,
as well.
and the collective was what raised that success. The rising tide raises all ships. Well, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles could have a quarterback problem. Now, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport is reporting that while it is realistic that Carson Wentz will be good to go for the opener, it's not a given that he will be ready for next season. Now, prior to the Super Bowl, the Eagles said they were open to trading Nick Foles. But if you're the team, do you rethink that sentiment?
Yeah, I don't trade Nick Foles unless I'm blown away by the offer. They still have him under contract for this season. I think it's a $4 million base salary with about a $3 million bonus. That's decent money for a backup quarterback, but it's not going to cripple your salary cap. You have uncertainty with Wentz, and why not have the best quarterback situation probably in the NFL, where it's one of those two guys starting, and you know what Foles can do as your backup. We just saw it in action. So I don't see the incentive to hurry up and trade him unless some team is saying, we're going to give you, a first rounder and a second rounder for Nick Foles. And maybe Foles could be satisfied in that role. We don't know. He did contemplate retirement in the past because he didn't want to take punishment. It's not bad to be both a hero and the backup.
Right, and the Eagles did show, too, that there is a serious value in having a quality backup quarterback. If you're the Eagles and you wouldn't make it to the Super Bowl. If Carson Wentz goes out and you don't have somebody to step up of quality, you're going to kind of fall off. So they need somebody to fill that gap, even when he does come back. That was a pretty substantial injury. So when he does come back, they don't know if he's going to be Carson Wentz of old. They don't know if he's going to need some time to get back in. They don't know if he's going to re-aggravate it. And if he does, and they don't have Foles there in the wings to step in, they're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't show that they needed Wentz to make it to the Super Bowl, right? We saw they made it with somebody else. But you do need competent quarterback play.
Somebody that can do the job and do it well.
And Nick Foles proved he could do that, of course. It's day 6 at the Winter Olympics in PyeongChang. Here's who won, what made news, and which events you should watch. Shaun White landed a stunning final run in the snowboard halfpipe, scoring a 97.75 to win his 3rd Olympic gold medal. Jurien Termors of the Netherlands took gold in the 1,000-meter speed skate. The Dutch are now 5 for 5 in speed skating gold medals in PyeongChang. Slalom was delayed yet again due to dangerous wind conditions, pushing the debuts of Michaela Schifrin and Lindsey Vonn to Friday. Tonight, the husband-wife duo of Alexa and Chris Knierim go for the podium in the free skate of pairs figure skating after struggling to advance through the short program. And the United States takes on Canada in a women's hockey rivalry game that could also be a preview of the game's gold medal match.
Start going at it. Yeah, you can't be scared. Take it up, take it up. You're gonna cut it. Take it up. Here, I'll show you real quick.
Oh, boom! Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Are you serious about this? Okay, so this is off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her hair look beautiful and everything, you know what I'm saying? And she got the blonde mohawk. When she won this off right here, I was like, whoa, what are you doing?
I mean, I tell you, he was breaking a sweat. He was really breaking a sweat.
All right, man, I'm nervous.
Nah.
Whoa, that's not what I want to hear right now.
Okay.
At first, he started a little timid, but after I showed him a little bit, I was like, push a little bit of pressure on her. Comb the hair back down. See, there you go. That's it. I said, it's going to be all right. You're not going to mess it up.
Her looks so nice and good. It's going to look better now.
It's going to look way better, yeah.
Every time I come to Juice, I always, try to switch it up. So he was definitely surprised when he saw that he had to take everything off.
I don't think I would let Big Papi cut my hair. If I was getting it all shaved, sure, but I wouldn't trust him with the fade. Is there another job you'd want to see David Ortiz do?
I feel like there are so many options that would be so entertaining, especially after watching that. Oh, this is a good one. If he was a deli man, come up to the deli counter and get some fresh meats from Big Papi.
And a little conversation.
A little conversation. I wonder what kind of his sandwich specialty would be.
I'd expect him to be one of those guys that's piling on a lot of the different deli meats.
Watch him be like a caprese guy. That would be like a curveball right there.
Yeah, the thinly sliced.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the cable guy.
I don't want to get mad at Big Papi when he doesn't show up in his 8-hour window.
I would wait in an 8-hour window for Big Papi. Like the average cable guy that comes through, I'm like, oh gosh, this is the worst day ever. But if you know Big Papi's coming through to hook up your Spectrum or internet service or whatever, I'm like, yeah, all right, let's do that.
Maybe you take the day off from work.
Take the day off work. Mailman Big Papi.
Mailman, you get to see
He always delivers.
every day if you're at home at that point.
Right, exactly. I would want to do a mail route with him. Just kind of meander the streets, pushing the little cart, driving the truck. Just kind of, sorting the mail. I think that would be a fun one.
And then we also have, I believe, Big Papi as a barista, which is my favorite one. Venti Papi, if you will.
I would say, yeah, the triple grande quad venti non-fat no foam latte would be his special. I wonder if he could do that foam art though, like the heart or the palm tree, or maybe he could like do a Big Papi face.
I'm sure he could learn.
Red Sox
It's probably easier to do that than to cut hair.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I was a barista in college once. That takes some skill. I feel like the buzz cut though, that's a pretty.
Well, buzz cut's easy, but I'll defer to you when it comes to cafe technique.
Thank you, her local. All right, well, one thing we know Big Papi won't be likely is a swimsuit model, but it is SI Swim Week here at SI. Obviously a big week for us, and we're continuing our interview series with this year's models. Recently, our Amy Campbell sat down with rookie Chase Carter.
I'm joined by one of our Sports Illustrated 2018 swimsuit rookies, Chase Carter. Thanks so much for giving us some time today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Really,
this is fantastic.
Really excited to talk to you. You're a Sports Illustrated swimsuit rookie. What does that mean to you?
You know what? It was one of those things that I grew up dreaming to be, and when it actually happened, I had to be like, okay, someone pinch me, breathe, take it all in. This is happening, and this is happening now. Everything you dream for is actually happening. And then all of a sudden I found out we're shooting in the Bahamas, where I'm from. And that was another surreal moment. And yeah, it was probably the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me. And it's so much fun being part of like such a beautiful, like great, not only company, family. Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, you mentioned you're from the Bahamas, and that's where the shoot was. What was the shoot like for you?
So like I said, I had to remind myself that I'm from that island. I'm like, you were from here, Chase. Oh my goodness, you're shooting your first ever Sports Illustrated shot where you were born and raised for your whole life. And I didn't appreciate it till afterwards, when it's all settled and it's all done. Because you're nervous, you're anxious, you want to impress everyone, you don't know how anything's going to be. And it was literally torrential downpours. My first shot was rain, and like my makeup got ruined and my hair, but you know what, it made a cool, dramatic, different type of scenery for my shots.
There you go. I saw a video of you playing soccer on set. I know you grew up playing lots of different sports. What kind of sports were you playing?
So in the Bahamas, there's nothing else to do besides play sports, right? You either play sports or actually do your homework, and I was like, homework's not for me. So I grew up playing, every sport for my school, really, because we didn't have a lot of people in our school. I had I would say 45 people in my whole entire grade. And my sister has 6 people in her grade. It's ridiculous. So on sports teams, the coaches they start bribing you. You don't have to go to practice if you play for the basketball team. And I said, okay. So I was a starter on every single sports team I was, only because the lack of players and good athletes, So me and my sports friends were literally soccer buddies, softball buddies, basketball buddies, volleyball buddies, track and field buddies, you name it, we played it.
So I know you have a blog.
I do.
Called Cheese's Take.
Yes.
It's hilarious. It's really thoughtful. I took a look at it.
You're so sweet.
I really loved the post you had called Girls Talk, excuse me, where you talk about a conversation that you had with your dad about sports and women in sports. Why don't you tell us that story?
So I was on the phone with my dad. He was kind of telling me about, why don't you do what girls talk about? Like, I don't know, why don't you gossip? And I'm like, I was just so offended. I was like, excuse me? See that right there? Everyone wants a girl to mold into what they think a woman should do or what a woman should talk about. And I said, no. I know it's going to be difficult. Yes, I'm 100% aware that it's going to be difficult for me to transition into the sports world as a woman, only because society doesn't think girls know sports because we're not playing on the NFL or in the NBA. That's ridiculous. That's just absurd to hear about. And I'm like, no, Dad, this is just not for me, and I'm not going to sit there and talk about their outfits because I could care less, or I don't even know what designer they're wearing because not my forte.
I looked over your blog, as I said, and you're a diehard sports fan.
Love it.
You eat, drink, breathe, all of it. Who did you grow up cheering for? You're from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
You don't really have like a hometown team.
Exactly.
How did you find teams to cheer for?
I'm from the Bahamas. Like, we don't even have a place to go watch sports. It's insane. So we have to either piggyback on bandwagoners or piggyback on our parents. So my dad went to prep school in Boca Raton, St. Andrews, and then he went to Maryland, prep school in there too, and he became a Washington Redskins fan. Can you believe that?
So you're a Redskins fan.
Oh my gosh, don't even say it out loud anymore. I just can't even hear it.
So what do you think about Alex Smith?
I know. So for me, I was like, Dad, I don't really know about Alex Smith with the Chiefs. Isn't he like older? He goes, he's Kirk Cousins, but not as good. And I said, oh, fantastic. Yay, another Kirk Cousins, because we really like, me, I would like to see the Washington Redskins with like a more younger player that has literally years with us. All I know is he's an old man, but we'll see what happens. Hey, look at Tom Brady. All you could do is hope, right?
Thanks so much for joining us. This was so much fun. You can check Chase out in SI's 2018 swimsuit issue. It'll be everywhere on newsstands this week and on si.com/swimsuit. Thanks.
Thank you.
We see some of your comments coming in on Facebook via some of the things we were talking about earlier in the show, including Kevin Garnett possibly getting his jersey retired by the Celtics. Kira Clark says both the Wolves and Celtics should retire the big ticket. #Brooklyn too.
I definitely think the Wolves should. I mean, KG was a huge part of that Timberwolves team and the identity of it. And, Kevin McHale did the whole let me slide you to my or my team kind of a thing, like the Derek Jeter move, and got him a championship and got him some success. But, yeah, I think when I think of Kevin Garnett and the big ticket, I think of Timberwolves first.
Well, best player in franchise history.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn aspect of it is funny, too, because the Celtics could use that as their argument to raise him to the rafters, all those picks they got. Tyler Eddy says Celtics only going to have letters left to put on their jerseys. That's not such a problem, right, that your team is so great you have to retire a bunch of numbers?
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem at all. Or, like, you could go 00, or I don't know, you could go different digit type of thing, put a 0 for, I don't know, you can get creative with it. 4A type of a thing.
There are a lot of numbers out there. Lamar Clark says, how do people still hate on LeBron? #lowlives.
I feel like people, the greater you are, the more people hate on you. People don't somebody once said, nobody's hating on you when they're better than you. Like, nobody's looking down on you, hating on you. People are always hating from behind. And I don't know. I mean, when you're the greatest player in the game, you're going to take some slack. And especially the way he carries himself, some people get rubbed the wrong way.
What's hilarious about it, though, is the results are there.
Yeah.
You usually can't argue with the results.
You can't argue with the W column.
And then at the same time, you'll get people saying things like, oh, LeBron, it's tough to deal with. It's tough to play with him. These are the same people that are going, the regular season is meaningless, but let's freak out about the Cavs.
How many times have you had a boss that you didn't like or that was miserable to work with but brought out the best in everyone? Or your coach that was like, I can't stand this guy, but he gets the job done. Do you think Bill Belichick is everyone's best friend? No, but he gets Patriots to consistent greatness.
And name me another player ever who could get a new group of role players and we'd immediately say, oh, yeah, they're a shoo-in to go to the finals.
I mean, I think, outside of Jordan, you can't really, I mean, especially in this era.
I don't think Jordan's taken Jordan Clarkson and Rodney Hood and these guys to the finals. I don't think it's happening, but that's an argument for another day. It's one that continues, on and on, perpetually. Oh, yeah. We'll be back tomorrow.
Wait, you mean people have had this argument before?
They have. And maybe we could pick it up tomorrow. SI Now Live, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, check out all the latest updates and videos at SI Now Live on Twitter. Jordan was great, by the way. I mean, everybody.